What's up, y'all? How you
Hey,
doing? The second episode
welcome.
of Sisterly Sparks, and we do
Yeah,
have a guest on here, Pimp. Um,
yes. Well, okay, so proper introduction. Her name is
Yeah.
Epiphany, but
Hi,
I call her
everyone.
Pimp. My sis call her Pimp because that's Pimp. But welcome, Epiphany. We are very excited to have you on today's episode.
Thank you. I'm
very.
excited.
So
Yeah.
listen, the first episode we didn't do it, and I didn't do it, which I said I really wanted to start off doing anything that have to do with any type of talking discussions or anything is because we don't get enough of it. So I do want to find out from all of us, even me, how are you guys doing mentally? So I'll let Cora take the floor first.
All right. Well, Orange Spark is doing okay. Cora is hanging in there. Um, I've been very heavy lately, dealing with a lot of life. Um, Life just seemed to be lifing right now, and um, I feel like I'm taking it to the chin, but also I have my moments where it gets the best of me. But um, overall, I'm doing okay, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So
Good.
yeah, I'm
Next.
here fighting.
Am I next?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I'm doing better. I can say these past couple weeks it seemed like I was slipping mentally. But I'm back on solid ground. So I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
All right, that's all we can hope for. I guess as for me, I don't know. um, I don't know. I guess in this moment right now, I'm doing great. Um, I've been trying to focus more on positive things than the negative because the negative is what leads us to, crazy and wrong decisions and actions. So, um, trying to just think about everything good that's happening instead of the bad stuff that's happening. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, tomorrow may be different. For me, it's on a day to day basis. But
That's fair.
yeah, in this moment, let's get it. I'm on go. So
Period. And I don't want to continue without saying, also dealing with the death of a friend, high school friend, and me and Epiphany Pimp, we both went to school with her, so her passing has been hard. So RIP to Damo and the Robinson family. You are
how,
definitely in our prayers.
how can people help with that?
Actually, her twin Monique Robinson has created a GoFundMe. So this is located on my page, and you could also look her page up if you like, and go on there and donate. And any amount helps. And we will also they're gonna host a all pink like food and goodies sale on next weekend, or it might be this weekend coming up, but that's also posted so that people can come, and all profits will go to her funeral expenses.
Okay.
So
And Pip, how are you feeling? Like, where's your headspace around that? Like, how are you dealing with that? Are you
Um,
good? Or are you
Definitely praying is saddening to know that someone you went to school with has passed away, and so suddenly at that. Um, I was just talking to someone the other day. I think our 10-year reunion's coming up
mm,
since high school,
wow.
yeah?
and we've lost a lot of people even before we graduated, all the way up to this point.
Mm,
So a lot of people has passed from our class, and
wow.
I had to know that
That's
another.
triggering.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah,
And we're not even 30.
exactly. So at this 10-year reunion, like it's just gonna be crazy because a lot of people has passed away that's in our class.
Mm. Well, I do send condolences to her, her family, y'all. Hope y'all, go every day and get better with it, and something positive come up out of it. But if everybody heard where they can help, so if you have it in you, if you can, whatever, even if you just go to one of their pages and just write a just something nice, or you know what I mean. It don't have to necessarily be in a given manner if you don't have it, but any
Right.
any form of support will help. So
Absolutely.
yeah, once again, my condolences for that. But I do think this is a good segue to go into the topic that we're going to be talking about, which is basically how do we know when enough is enough? And I guess you could say that's a broad topic, but I feel like that covers and that can go for any and everything, and everybody as well. I, I I don't want to just point out just one type of, I guess, like what scenario or something that have to do with enough is enough, because and I mean like family, friendships, relationships, um, whatever. It's just
Mhm.
because we are so different, and everybody have differences, and we all seem to be like headstrong with things. And I feel like it's when you're actually have like really good traits, and you show like kindness and all that, is when people try and
Take
um
advantage.
yeah, to take advantage. And so even though that's what we strive to be, like, right, we strive for kindness, we strive for love, we strive for helping, we strive for all that. However, in this wicked system we live in, people see it as a way to, hurt others. So um when I pass the floor, I just it so it don't necessarily have to, you don't necessarily have to speak on just one certain thing. You could speak broadly if you want to or whatever, but I would just like to know, in you guys' opinion, how do you know enough is enough? And whatever form you want to answer that in, whatever aspect you want to answer that in, feel free to. So whoever want to.
Yeah.
I can go first. I say that personally, I feel like, or I've known when enough is enough is when the desire to entertain or keep up or whatever the case may be, just speaking broadly, isn't there anymore. Because
Mhm.
sometimes, it's like, but then it's like it's hard to explain it, but it's like a feeling that you have like deep down in your gut, in your soul, in your spirit. You just know like, this no longer is for me. I'm no
Mhm.
longer going to give any effort or my energy or attention towards something that no longer benefits me. And then there's a sense of peace when it comes to that, to where you're okay with however it's left, not picking it up, not
Mhm.
trying to change it, not trying to um just it's just okay where it's at, honestly. So that's just speaking in a broad sense when it comes to that.
I like that.
Me too. Um, I think to answer, um, I think we have to kind of look at how do you get to that point of enough, um, which you both kind of touched on, being taken advantage of, and you put yourself out there, you extend yourself, and you're happy to do it, and it's just kind of built into your character, and then you feel taken for granted, or mistreated, or undervalued, and those things build up over time, and you feel them, and you eventually do get to that point, like Pimp said, where okay, I'm good on this, like this don't feel good, and that I'm gonna listen to my gut is telling me that, yeah, I don't like this. This isn't good. So I'm gonna walk away from that. And I think that um, there's many. It is broad. There's many situations, but for me personally, I think it's the mistreatment that gets me. I've gone into that cycle of, okay, I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change what I do. I'm gonna stay true to me and set boundaries. But once there's no boundaries are not being respected or
Mm-hmm.
acknowledged behavior, then I have to step back to protect me, because now you're the only one benefiting from it and I'm actually being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So um but I must say that I've been one that will take it, and I'll take it and I'll eat it and I'll take it to the chin, and I'll keep, just keep doing it, because for me, I love to help where I can. I want, if I can meet a need that you have, I got you. I'm reliable. I'm dependable. I can do it, no questions asked. There's
Mm-hmm.
no let me dangle this in your face like, oh, I did this. None of
Mm-hmm.
that. Um but it's not a good feeling to feel taken advantage of or not respected, or you only invest in this relationship because of what I can provide for you, but not because of who I am. So um and that's in a lot of relationships. I've had friendships where, and I didn't realize it at the time. Um, very in denial about it, I guess. Well, not even in denial. I was oblivious. There's the word.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
oblivious that, I was pouring into this friendship that was one sided. And, when things hit the fan, come to find out, like, you didn't know basic things about me, like you didn't
Mm-hmm.
stop to, what's your favorite color? What's something that you like to drink or eat? Or what do you like to do in your spare time? What are the things that make up you? There was no basis. It was only, oh, you need this? I can do this. I can do this. I know all this about you. I know your routine day in and day out. And
Hmm.
so it's a tough one. And I think in other relationships, I go in the cycles of trying to fight for a one ended um, relationship. And you get, I get knocked down to rock bottom every time, and somehow climb back out and go right on that one way street. And I think that I've finally hit that enough is enough. And I don't want to keep going in this never ending cycle
Hmm.
With the wrong people,
Right.
with wrong
because
people.
what you do matters. Who you do it for or to.
Oh yeah.
Um, because that could be your core. That sounds like that's something that's a part of you. And that seems
Mhm.
like that's something that automatically comes with you. So when it comes to who you deal with, friendships, relationships, co-workers, things like that, you have to be mindful of who you grant all that access to.
Yes, ma'am. I say it all the time, don't I? Every
You
time we,
do.
it don't even have to be on that subject or topic, but I always say your surroundings is. I mean, you are a product of your environment. You are who you hang with or who you have around you. And even though you may not think that they can rub off, or you would do what they do if they're doing something that's not appeasing to you or whatever, that all the traits and the things that they're doing, it seeps into you, and you actually become that. So you really do have to watch out, like,
Yep.
who's around you and what you're doing, and all that, because it's crazy out here for real, how we are, because we are energy beings. So
Mhm.
we are intake we are taking on other people's energies. So I mean, it goes deep, and I'm not gonna go deep today, but it does. It's crazy. And on the point that Cora made, about like how she was oblivious to, you know what I mean, to her figuring out that it was, just a one-sided type thing. That happens because you be so engulfed in you doing what you're doing, and and helping, and wanting to do all this type of stuff, to where you really not paying attention to the lack of from the other person, because you're so, you know what I mean, you just constantly
Yep.
just
Go, go,
and I
go, go,
feel like
go.
I'm that way a little bit too. I feel like for me, because I do everything so passionately, and I love hard, I give hard, I just, I take a lot,
And
like,
with intention.
yes, I feel like it takes me longer to get to that enough part, um because I'm always trying to see someone or something in a positive manner. So I would always think like, well, I would always try to make an excuse on why the action was what it was. And then I would try to give more chances and more chances. Okay, so maybe this time it'll be a little different. Okay, well, maybe this time they won't do that or say that or act like that, or and I keep doing it, and I keep doing it because I don't know, in a twisted way, I just feel like sometimes I try to give people what I want them to give to me, which is, don't don't cut me off, or don't X me out if I make a mistake, or if something don't go the way that you want it to go. Like, we're human. We're not perfect. Nobody's going to do anything perfectly all the time. And I feel like that's how most of us are nowadays. And I'm including myself. I'm saying us. I'm not saying they or anything. You have to take accountability. You have to include yourself when you're talking and you speaking, realistically. And I just feel like we count people out too quick. However, on the flip side of that, some people, like Pimp said, some people don't deserve. Uh, some people intentionally try to be harmful, or to be negative, or to mistreat you, or to see you fail. Some people just want that, and we do have to be. Which is why we have. I feel like we have to be whole in ourselves, or we have to um, know what to look for, and know the traits and uh, the actions of people, and know how to decipher. Okay, so that's not right, or okay, so that was intentional. So, and for me also, like, even if I find something to be like intentional or something, my crazy tail, I would still try and come up with like, okay, but,
Give
and
the benefit
especially
of
if,
the doubt.
because sometimes, it's tricky, y'all, because sometimes you can fall in love, or you can like a person based on who they show you, and that don't even have to mean that they're showing you the true them, right? Or whatever.
True.
So when you
Or
get
fall in
that,
love with potential.
yeah, and that's hard. I think I do that.
Ooh, that hit a little
Because you
personal.
see, because you see the potential in everyone, so that's what
Yeah,
you like. If you just do this, like, I can see where you can be, but
right.
versus what they actually giving you, and knowing
Yeah,
that they don't have any desire to be that person, then that's when you got to take a step back. Because I've stayed in a lot of relationships, friendships, and family ships, because I seen the
mhm,
potential and
right.
not what they were giving me, and there's a difference.
Yeah, and I feel like even though that's like in this world, crazy world, I feel like that's frowned upon, but I feel like that should be like, why is that? Why should that be so bad or so harmful for you to see the potential? Because, like, nowadays some people are not where they need to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you can see where that person is going or could be or whatever, why is that so bad for you to look, I don't want to say maybe to the future, but look to what's to come, right? Potentially,
I,
I guess. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
trying to say?
I do. And I'm gonna give you the scenario we had earlier about we spoke about, possible business opportunities with, you have the potential to do this, this, and this because you have that outreach and you can see that. But if I
Mm-hmm.
can't see that for myself, or if I don't want that for myself,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it, but I will never fulfill it. And I have no
Yep.
intentions on fulfilling it because
Expectations.
I don't see that for myself. I don't like, oh yeah, you saying that, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this over here. Or
Right.
that's yeah, I mean, it would be cool to do that, but nah, not me. I can't do that. I'm destined for this. Or, life ain't gonna turn around for me. So I just gotta deal with what I got or whatever. So it's not bad for you to see the potential, but it just leaves the door open for you to be hurt. And
True.
And
I mean,
disappointed.
and disappointed. And not because, and it may not be that they're intentionally trying to do it. They may truly believe that they can't do it. And so they just simply don't. But it's not wrong for you to believe that they can do it and to know that they do it and have the potential to do it. But if you cling to that idea and it doesn't
Hmm.
come to pass, you just
Yeah, it don't benefit either party.
That
And
sucks.
being on the other end, like, because that goes hand in hand with expectations. And personally, that's what I've been dealing with in the season. Is just I'm tired of all these expectations being put on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not even be like, oh, the potential of the person you could be. It could be, I expected you to do this for me because you always have.
Right. Oh, man.
Or I've had other
don't get the
people do it.
boundaries.
And so the fact that you stopped or you changed, how dare you, in a sense. And my
Mhm.
daughter says that all the time.
Great.
How dare you? And
Mm-hmm.
You
and you
didn't got
know, and
weird.
that's when you just walk away and be like, don't put that expectation on me.
Yeah.
Just,
Hmm.
because that ain't right.
You don't have that
Yeah.
access anymore. You set
You
that
know what?
boundary.
You know what I feel like? I feel like actually when we I feel like when we, because most of the time, sometimes we could try, we could argue, we could fuss, we can, defend, we can all that to the farthest extents. But I feel like once you get to a point of not even bothering to, you know what I mean, like bothering to like defend something that maybe somebody said or somebody putting something out there on you and like or not trying to have a response after something or when you just shut up, when you get to a point of like you have no response for just anything, like I feel like if that's not the enough, it's dang near close because once it's quiet, that means it's done, right? There's nothing to talk
Speaks
about,
volumes.
and especially if you know who you are. That's why I always, and me and Cora always be having talks and stuff, and I'm telling you, I'll be talking her ear to death, okay? But I always tell her like because I'm in this space where I'm learning me, learning to love me, learning to care for me, learning who I am, learning what I am, learning what I can do. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know who you are, somebody's gonna turn you into who they feel like you are. Because you're just gonna follow the lead. You're gonna follow somebody else, or you gonna believe what somebody else say about you, or you gonna believe what somebody say you could do or you can't, or and all that. So I always try to make it a habit of even if it's not Corey, anybody I talk to, my clients, all that, anybody, it don't even matter. People who I even just meet and we just start talking and stuff. I just feel that it's really needed for us to tap into us ourselves, for us to know who we are, for us to know what makes us tick, for us to know our weaknesses, our strong points, and that takes, like, sometimes it takes um being by yourself a little bit. And I'm not saying for long extended times, but once again, when you have different energies and stuff around you and stuff, that can impact what you may see. You know what I mean? It may impact how you may perceive yourself to be. But if you're sitting there by yourself and you're asking yourself them tough questions, nobody else can answer but you. Nobody can tell you anything but you, because you're the only one in that room. You're the only one in that space. You're the only one who can answer for you. Nobody else can tell you how you are, who you are. I don't care what they looking at or what they feel like they're seeing. Nobody can tell you who you are better than you. And so once you get, and I feel like once you get to a point of knowing who you actually are, it's going to be hard for somebody to put something on you. It's going to be hard for somebody. And then that's when you get, that's, I feel like that's when you get to a point of, this person is delusional. This person is crazy. Like, and you just let it go on, because there's nothing that you can do to defend that, right? Because if a person believes something wholeheartedly or in their heart, there nothing that you say or do is gonna change how they see you or what they see you for. And sometimes too, and I feel like sometimes me now realizing through different experiences and stuff, it hurts people for them to see that you're not who they envision you to be or who they made you to be. It because you're not that person they're claiming that you are. You're not doing the things that they say that you're doing or you're not doing. And it interrupts them. And that's their problem to deal with, not yours. So that's why if you're really in tune with you, there's nothing that nobody can say that should taint you or that should make you flip out or make you go crazy or whatever. Even though I know for me initially it used to drive me nuts, because I felt like that, okay, one, you messing up my character. Two, you talking bad and talking down and to others, and I'm wondering why. So now I feel like I have to go to these people to defend myself against what you said. But now though, I that don't matter to me, because that's also why you have to be true to who you are and know what you're doing and be like really what's the word I'm trying to look for, like um
Honest.
be honest with who you who you put out there or what you doing. Like you have to, that way, when you're faced with the people that's trying to dog you or trying to show you as something that you're not, they're going to be made to be out to be the clown, not you, because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You're acting right, you treating people how you're supposed to, you know what I mean, you're walking in the way that you should walk. So that's why you should always show up as yourself, like unapologetically. Like, even if don't nobody like it, so what? We are different. We're meant to be different. Nobody's meant to be the same. So um you walk, you do you, be who you are. And once you be who you are, then you attract those people that's meant for you. When we are not walking in the way that we should walk, when we're not acting like how we should, when we're not doing the things that we should, that's when we attract those people based on the falsehoods that we put out there. Then we get mad, right? When the
They switch
people don't
up.
equal up to what we feel like or whatever, not knowing, let me step back and let me see what am I doing, or how am I acting, or how am I talking, like, or what am I saying? Like, accountability, and I'm gonna say it to the death of me, accountability is everything. Like, sometimes we are our own downfall. Sometimes we are the reasons why uh things don't happen for us, or we don't end up in the positions or the spots that we feel like we need to be in, because we're not we're not realizing the impact that we have on ourselves and our livelihoods and what we're doing on a daily basis and who we're attracting. If we keep if we have nothing but um negativity or just bad things surrounding us all the time, you have at some point you have to be like, okay, stop blaming everybody else and stop blaming others, and you have to be like, okay, all right, Tanya, um what's up?
Right.
What is it that you're doing, or what is it that you're saying, or that, or what you're displaying that keeps allowing you to attract those type of people? And then it
Mm-hmm.
makes you want to figure yourself out. It makes you want to change and authentically find out who you are and be that person so that you can get rid of what you don't need, and so you can attract the ones that you actually need. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I just that's I don't know, but
No, it's good. Valid. Valid. So
any no, I was just gonna
uh,
say anything. What? Um,
no, I think that that's true, and I think it also goes to not say that even though you authentically put yourself out there and you have those who truly know who you are and know not to believe the lies and the people that are trying to um, send personal attacks on your character. It's not that people won't believe them either, and you have to find peace with knowing that you are who you are despite
mhm.
them believing the lie, and that
And that
they
can be
just,
hard. Like
yes, it
just
is
having that trust, just having to trust the process. That can be hard, especially
very,
especially if you're at a point to where you still feel like you have to defend yourself, or you still feel like, well, even though I know, you know but still, when you say that, but still, that's dangerous. But still, it's dangerous.
it is, yeah. But having enough self-confidence and knowing, nope, I know who I am, I know how I move, I know my intentions, I know my heart. So they can talk, they can spread, they can believe, but at the end of the day, I'm true to me, and not having to feel that urge of, oh, I gotta go defend that because that, I know that's not why. I got receipts to prove it.
Right.
It ain't even worth it. It's
Yeah.
really not. It's getting you worked up. And who benefits? Because there are people you can take receipts to, and they like, they make your receipts though.
Right.
That don't match your name. That's not your account. Whose receipts is these? No, that's not valid. You're not gonna convince them. And that those are people who just simply don't know you. They don't value you. They don't invest in you. They're not benefiting your life. So it's not even worth it. Don't mean that
And
it's not a hard resistance, but it's not.
right. But just like also too, what you said when you brought up, I wrote down, you mentioned boundaries. Listen, listen, now, y'all. I'm 39, okay, and I say only like within the last like maybe 3 to 5 years, and I may be extending it a little bit longer, but only then is when I really found out and understood what boundaries actually meant, right? And I felt like from finding that out, I felt like I just didn't have any. Okay. I come to find out I didn't have any, which is why I found myself in the I found myself in the different circumstances that I found myself in, because when you just allow every and anything, you're gonna get any and everything, okay? And it was driving me nuts. First of all,
Yep.
I'm emotional, okay? I'm a Pisces, so I'm super emotional. I'm trying not to cuss on here. I'm super emotional, right? And I overthink, like, and I I I do. I allow a lot of stuff. I'm not confrontational to really, unless I have to be now. But I really don't like confrontation, and none of that. And I would give in to certain things all the time, or I would bend, or I would do certain things even if I didn't want to, just to appease or please something or somebody else or something. And it wasn't until like I really had got to a point, um where I felt like, you know what, I felt suffocated, like with life, not just with life. I felt suffocated. I kept asking like, oh my gosh, why, what, I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I mean, I'm allowing this. And I had to get to a point of like, you know what? Because if you think about it, everybody sets their boundaries, right? And they tell you. I wasn't paying attention to that. And people want what they want. People want to be treated how they want to be treated. People want to be done how they want to be done. They want to do what they want to do, right? So
Mhm.
but it's only bad when you choose those things, when you set your own boundaries and you put those out there, and then the
Mhm.
boundaries is a problem, then that means those people are not for you. Because if you're setting reasonable boundaries for yourself, right? Because I feel like everybody should have them and need them. If you're setting those and people can't abide by those boundaries or don't feel like they need to adhere to them, then those people are not for you. They're
Or
not really,
say,
they're not really like true for you. They're not really like have your best interest at heart, because if so, they will respect that. Whether they like it or
mhm,
not, they will
rather
respect
than
that,
saying,
and they will
those
move
aren't
like
real
that.
boundaries.
Right. Like,
Those aren't
how are you going
boundaries.
to tell me what my boundary is? How are you going to set my boundaries for me? You can't set somebody's boundaries. You set your own, and you make it known, and you put it out there, and you see who's for you and who's not, by if they accept that or not, by if they, if you know what I mean, like if they
Mhm.
want to follow them or not. And they don't even have to be like extensive or crazy or anything outlandish. It could be simple things, but
Hmm.
allowing somebody to treat you a certain way when you don't want to, allow somebody to talk to you a certain way, and you don't feel the need to intake that, like anything, you need to let that be known. And you don't have to come at it at like a bad way, like a at way, because you can talk at somebody and you can talk to somebody. It's a
Truth.
difference. And for me,
Mhm.
like, nobody's gonna talk at me. Don't talk at me. We can have a conversation, we can talk. And of course they're not gonna always be like, um
Happy Nori.
you know what I mean? It's not gonna always, you're not gonna always agree on stuff. So there, yes, of course there's gonna be disagreements, or there's gonna be things that y'all don't see eye to eye on, or whoever it is. It don't matter. I'm not talking about particular people or particular ones. Anybody, for whatever, anything. You're always
Mhm.
there's always gonna be, but that's why dialogue, that's why talking, that's why conversations come into play. You can agree to disagree, and it's okay. It's okay for you not to have the same thoughts as somebody else. It's okay for you not to like something that somebody else is doing, or a way that they're moving or something. But if it doesn't actually affect you in a bad way, it's okay for you not to like it, but still be okay with that person. It's okay. You don't have to dead somebody or call somebody an enemy because they don't agree with you on everything, or they don't see your way, or not even see it. Because I feel like we should try and understand people ways, or how they
Thought
are, whatever.
patterns,
But that
intentions.
doesn't mean, however, that you have to agree with that. So yeah, for me, boundaries is, I've listen. I don't, my circle. It ain't even a circle.
The
It's
line.
that small. It's not. It's like it's like It's like but for real, because and that will, I feel like you doing that, you setting those boundaries, I feel like that will kick the ones that need to be out, push the ones that need to be in, and you know what I mean? Then you take it from there. But anyway, y'all know I could go on forever, forever. I'm gonna be quiet and give somebody else a chance to talk. But it's crazy work, man, setting no boundaries and actually finding out. And that goes for family too. Hold on, that goes for family too. For real. Cause
It starts with
for
Absolutely.
them,
me,
or at least it should.
right, listen, I I listen, I love family to death, right? I wish that we can always like be together, do things, like congregate, like just you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it be your
vibe.
own family that's the worst. It be your own ones who feel entitled.
Just because they
Entitled.
Entitled.
are family, that's where that entitlement comes from, and that's
I
that
could love you from a
blood is
distance.
thicker than water. That's where all that.
No,
No,
no, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know
no,
about it.
no.
Like
I got friends
your
who
thinking need to
treat
be
me
thick,
better than my
need to
family
be
ever
thicker too
would.
then. Cause
That's the part. Say it louder for the people in the back.
make your thinking thicker.
I
Hold
got
on, let
friends
me
who treat me
can I
better
make up
than
in here?
family
Hold on,
ever
let me
would.
see. Let me see.
Cause baby, that was truth right there. Woo, that was truth.
Family, they put on these blinders, and then they also just think of you how they want to think you or view you because they grew up with you or seen you grow, and it's like you got to accept me where I'm at and and where I'm at now versus what I've been in the past
Right.
or what I allowed you to do in the past. I have
Mhm.
the right to change. I have the right to change my mind. I have the right to set boundaries, even
Right.
with
You
family.
grow. And you, the older you get and the more, you know what I mean, the more times go on and you go, like you're not gonna be the same person.
Nope.
You
And you
It
shouldn't
should
don't
be.
be.
allow you
Some
to
people
If
grow,
are.
you do, then that's a
but
problem. That means
you
haven't
have to
grown
grow
any. And
within
you have
this.
But a lot of
You
families
can't.
is like that. And if you actually grow outside of that, that's where a lot of the black sheep come in.
oh yeah.
Because, oh, you
I'm a
Woo.
think you
black
better
sheep
than
too.
me? You think you better than us? We grew up the
Right.
same way. But yet you chose to be different from what you grew up from. How dare you?
Right. How
You don't
dare
have
you? There you go.
values.
How dare
You
you?
don't. You're not
Let me write
loyal.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like they can do it too. They just don't want to put in the effort. They think this just comes just so easily, so gracefully, so blissfully. It don't.
At
No.
all. At
It
all.
took me being
You
real with
very
myself. A lot of people
gracefully
don't want
now.
to be real. It
Right.
took me
No.
being sober. A lot of people don't want to be
Mm.
sober. It took me breaking off bad habits. People don't want to do that. They like, oh, I want to be better. I want this, I want that, but I don't want to give up this. I don't want to give
But
up
I
Right.
ain't
that.
putting that in. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Your hands can only
Mm-hmm.
carry so much.
Yeah.
What you carry can mess up what's possible for you. But
Oh man.
that can be taught. Like that's something that people got to go through their own journey of. And a
Yeah.
lot of people realize towards the end, like, wow, I could have done better, been better. I could have used you as an example instead of treating you like an enemy.
Right. Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
choose
Yep.
otherwise. And now they have to deal with those consequences. You're not gonna put that on me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also
Mm-hmm.
goes to tell, like you can actually tell where people are in their journeys too by the
Yep.
way of their actions and how they treat you and stuff.
And how they think.
Um, right. And how they,
Oh
yeah,
man.
they're thinking. Like you, man, you right, you hit that on the nail. Yes, the way that they're thinking, like I had I said I wasn't gonna go personal, but screw it. So
Here we are.
and I'm not gonna go too deep, but um I've I felt like for a long time that I've been the black sheep, right, of my family. And even though like I just be feeling like because I've always had a difference of opinions from everybody and everything, and it don't even matter
Mm-hmm.
more even even if it wasn't family, I just felt like I've always seen things differently or done things differently. So and no matter what somebody does or how they do things or what they say, I don't go outside of what how I am or how I'm thinking about it or what I feel like it is, right? So that always
Mhm.
made me be the opposite of everybody else who are not fitting in, right? So
Uh-huh.
um I said I wasn't confrontational, but I also said when I need to be, I am. If something is affecting me, if something is causing me to have um deep, I don't know the word. Anyway, if I feel affected like internally and passionately about something, I'm gonna speak on it, right? And sometimes, even though I try my hardest with everything and anything to think before I speak and try to look at different scenarios on how things could go or how situations could be or whatever, sometimes I don't catch that, right? I'm human. Whatever. I don't catch it. Um and recently, I'm not gonna even talk about too many, but just this one recent thing, it hit me because um and I wholeheartedly, like, I didn't mean for any of it to go down or how it even went, which to me, I felt like it was not that big of a deal to where it ended how it ended, but I have to put myself in that person's shoes because who's to say how they was thinking or what they was feeling or what position they are in their life and how their journey is or whatever. And so I forgot to tell my sister happy birthday. That act, and I felt bad. Like I really did because I really didn't mean to, right? Um I was like really busy. I was really busy that month and I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't on social media much or anything, but um I think I had got to it late, either late that day or either the next day, whatever it was. And I come to find out that people can dead you over crazy stuff. Like anyway, so now we're not talking. I got unfriended. I got messages like, how could you or how dare you tell one person happy birthday and didn't tell me? But like I wholeheartedly, and if that person actually knew me and actually cared and loved me unconditionally, I felt like you would get it because you know me. You would know my heart. You would know that that wasn't intentional. You would know that,
Mhm.
which is why I responded with what I felt like I needed to. But I'm okay with you feeling like you don't need to talk to me. I'm in that space where I feel like that's it. That's fine. It hurts. It's it's crazy. I still don't understand like all the way, but some things you just gonna have to be okay with. I I I, I would never dead my family over any over anything crazy like that. Over any, I would I wouldn't play around. That for me that makes me feel like people put conditions on love and people put conditions on um relationships, and if you do this or if you don't do this, then like you got parents out here deadening their kids. You got siblings,
Wild,
same thing. Right. That stuff is why how who
wild behavior. Life is too short to be dead in anybody.
uh,
You either try to understand or you don't, but don't do that. You know, still
yeah,
keep some type of open communication and try to at least try to understand from that standpoint. But
right.
deading somebody because they didn't, that's a control thing.
Right. Listen.
Some
And
mental.
keep that over there.
And that's
Yeah.
why I feel like nobody's gonna control me. You know what? And I've said, which is like, I feel like it's toxic for me to say, but I once said that I would mess any type of relationship up just for me not to be broken anymore, or just for me not to be manipulated against, done wrong or anything, because I have a real I have a real bad issue with trusting people.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that's just from all my experiences, from anything and everything. I just feel like this whole world is built on people disguising themselves, and we won't see the real people because of how we feel like we have to be around others, or to others, or to get somewhere, or to have something. And I feel like there's not too many genuine people out here, and it aggravates me bad. Like, bad, it aggravates me for people not to feel like they could be genuine, or they could be honest, or they can have integrity, or they can be loyal, or they can, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I just got to the point now, instead of me trying to defend something or trying to keep relationships and keep stuff, I just say, all right, listen, what more can I give you than the
What you
actual me, the real me? What more can I show you than what I'm already doing? You're wanting People want you to go over and beyond, and they do bare minimum.
Yeah.
I'm not having that. I'm not taking that. I'm not doing it. Like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, if that's what you want, that's cool. I still love you. I don't have no bad nothing. You're you're just not probably in the space where you need to be at, to where we can meet equally. So I don't know. I don't know. That still sits on me a little bit. But every day I try to deal. I try to deal. It, hopefully, because I also did say, I really hope that you find the person you are meant to be, and hope you get in the space where you need to be, so that you won't act out and have those type of thoughts, because I don't feel like that's normal. Like, I don't feel like
It's not, and I think that it's a mental issue. It's a self-identification issue of not knowing who you are and being confident in your worth and your value. um and if you don't value yourself, you will value your worth to others. But I think that that's in a, like, people always say, with suicide, they say that's a permanent uh solution. It's a permanent solution for a temporary
super
problem.
problem, right?
So the behavior is similar. I'm gonna dead you. I'm gonna end this relationship. I'm going to exert you out of the family, essentially, as a permanent fix. I'm done with you. You no longer exist, for this temporary problem that could have simply been addressed. Hey, I'm sorry. These were not my intentions. It actually hurt my heart that I forgot, and I felt really bad. And I will do better, and I will make an intention to do better. Um, and that could bring the change, in action that will spark um, a better sense for the both of you. You feel good, like, oh, I remembered, I got it right. And her, oh, she actually does love and care, and she put in the effort and she followed through. But nixing all the hard work, nixing all the emotions, the feelings, the um relationship strings that you feel, and just, it's easier to dead you and be done than to actually address issues. And I
Avoid
think that
risk.
also, huh?
I said avoiding those conversations is real because that comes with honesty and self reflection.
Right.
Not
Some people
everybody's
can't
ready
be
for that.
honest. Yep.
They can't.
Absolutely.
And if you can't be
Absolutely.
honest with yourself, you can't be honest with me. So
Right.
when people do that, that just shows me, oh, you're not even you delusional with yourself. So I can't
For real.
expect no truth to come out your lips when it comes to
Right.
me.
Right.
Hey, hey.
Delusion is real, boy. People be out here real delusional, and
Delusional. Like,
Be
Lord, I be
loud and
like
delusional.
loud and
hold on.
proud.
Hold
The whole
on.
time you're wrong. You're just wrong.
Loud and wrong.
That's sickening.
But I also no, it is very. It's very. But I think too. I think that culture plays a nice little
Yeah.
um it plays a nice role in it because it's kind of like a never ending broken record of, well, we weren't taught to communicate, we were taught to just do, and you do, and if you don't, here's the consequence of what is now called abuse.
That's why you have to
But
break cycles.
And that's a
exactly.
crutch. That's a crutch.
Exactly.
We learned that too, but yeah, we chose to be different.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yes, yes. So while it is a factor that, hey, generations to generations may not know how to communicate, yes, it is up to you to put in the work and put in the effort. And it's okay if you don't know how to communicate, start with the communication. And if I come to one of y'all and I say, hey, y'all done ticked me off, you'll say, oh, I'm happy to talk to you about that, but I'm gonna need you to bring that down. That's not how you
Watch your
approach somebody.
tone. Right.
Exactly. So you from trying, and I'd rather
Mhm.
you, if you don't know how, come at me and we're gonna address the, hold on, that's not how you approach somebody. This is how you
Right.
want to do that if you want to have a civil,
Right.
a cordial, a productive conversation. And you can learn. People can be open-minded, reasonable, and teach willing to teach you how to walk through those things, but you have to be willing to accept the corrective criticism. You have to
Mhm.
Right.
accept it and be willing to expand and be able to, one, self-evaluate, and two, be honest and be real. And that's in the, we like to mask our problems and say, oh, what's an example? Oh, you don't like me, so no, you've
Or
always
that's
been
just
a,
how I am.
right,
That's a,
you've always been a hater, so I'm done with you. When really the bottom line is, you hurt my feelings when you did this. And rather than being vulnerable and saying that because you're afraid of how they're going to respond and what response you're going to get, if it's going to be accepted, acknowledged, or um accepted, acknowledged, or there was another word, Lord. But regardless, if it's going to be that, versus just putting it out there, it is hard, it's a big step to be vulnerable, but you have a better shot at, one, addressing the root of an issue, and two, making progress if you just put it all out there. And if you make yourself vulnerable to somebody and they don't accept it, they're not welcoming, it's not a safe place, then you know better and you know not to do it again with that person in particular. But it's no points taken away from you for being true, for being vulnerable and saying, hey, and not sugarcoating, oh, this is the issue up here, I don't want to talk about the root, but I want to talk about all these branches. No,
Mm-hmm.
here's the root. Because if we can change that root, if we can gut that root, then what will grow from it will knock out all them branches, and you won't have no branches to worry about.
Mm. Pin drop.
Ooh.
No, that's real life. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, I like this. I like this, y'all.
Me
Listen,
too.
this is well needed.
Absolutely.
For real. Pimp, you got
absolutely.
any comments about anything, or anything you want to talk about in particular, or anything?
Um, I guess we could just use this as a segue into the next one. Because I had thoughts about like how you said like being used and things like that. And what I've
Mm.
learned is try to look at it a different way. Like I used to be so upset when people would use me, but now I see it as I'm glad I could have been of use. I'm
Yes.
glad that you thought me as someone that you can use to get to a certain point, you
Right.
know, like that gateway. And knowing that God knows everything and everything gonna come back around. So if you use me and you benefit off of what I've done, then I will be blessed in return. So if I gotta be used, go ahead
Use
and
me
use
in a
me.
good way. Use me good. Use me for the
Yep.
good.
That
Yeah.
part.
Because really, if you think about it, we all use each other for something,
Yeah. Oh,
regardless on what where you at in life, what you're doing, who you with, whatever. You're being used for something.
Shakur, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm looking at the. It's
Oh.
just
I was like, what is she
If you don't stop, she is crazy.
no for
Stop
real.
that.
I keep looking at it.
I was like, somebody gotta take a picture of you. Like, what's going on?
No, I'm just
No,
sitting here
but
looking at it, like, man, there
no,
we
but you're right. Like, yeah, that's a good positive way on looking at being used um and just and you so right. Like if you're the one that they chose to either get something from or mimic after or any of that, that just means you're doing something right.
Exactly. That's
go.
that
In a
Thank you
positive,
for the confirmation. Like,
right? Yeah, because you don't go to somebody who's bad and strung out and
right.
you
Like
know
you can't
having all
do
these
nothing for
problems
nothing.
and be like,
Exactly.
"Oh, you, I want you to help me. Yeah,
Right.
you
Because I
gonna
know
give me
something
what
good
I
gonna
need."
come if I use you. So thank you. Like, because sometimes
Right.
you don't think that you are good enough or that you have good qualities or traits because other people don't see it, or they lie and say they don't, but truly they do because they stick closer. They can be on you like white on rice. Then when you put up boundaries, they like, where you going?
Right. Like, hold on.
Choose where you
Why
going.
you
I
switch
need
up?
you.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
So
Man,
when's
y'all,
so
I
what is the
enjoyed
next
this
topic
one.
of the next one? Do you
Huh?
guys
What you
have
said?
do you guys have one in mind? What the topic is for the next one?
We might have
You'll
to do
come
a
to
part
find
two.
out about me. I don't be thinking of nothing. That I feel I feel like that's how I procrastinate with stuff when I have to like set something in stone or something, because then that puts me into thinking mode, or that puts me into having more stuff on my plate. But I feel like, I mean, it could be, look, it's so much stuff that
Yeah.
we can talk about.
Any
I
and everything.
I mean, any and everything. I don't think
Yeah.
this is gonna be like a outline type thing. I just think because I do ask about like mentally, like where we be, and you know what I mean, like each week, and we're doing it every week. I feel like um, whatever we endured for that week, if it's something heavy for us or whatever, I feel like we could just hit on
Put it
that,
out.
or like if or through the week, you know what I mean, when we're doing
Yeah.
our own thing and we come across something, or um it may be like a topic starter or something. We could, shoot each other a message or and ask each other, and we can let that be what that is. And put out a post right before we go live, or like a day or two before it's time to go, and we could, write what topic that is or what have you. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, as of right now, I don't know. I could say like 10 different things for real,
I mean,
because
we went through today like how many times you changed that thing at the
a
bottom?
lot. Like, but I mean, it's needed though, because you can't just stay on one thing, because everything goes with everything. So
It's
it
connected.
really
Yeah.
do be like extended. Like, you can't just talk about one thing without talking about something else. You're
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
end up talking about different subjects. So, um,
Absolutely. Yep.
and it also helps to talk to others that have wide ranges of thoughts and opinions and knowledge and wisdom too. You know what I mean? So it makes the conversations like like heavy, but it also makes it good and interesting and knowledgeable. You know, you I feel like you will be able to take something away um from what each of us are saying or every episode, because it's gonna be loaded and packed. Like I just feel like that.
Yes.
Like I mean, I don't know, Pip, if you know, but probably the number of times that you've been around me, you know, I could either be quiet or I could either talk. When I'm talking, I'm talking. If I'm
Yeah.
quiet, I'm quiet. So
Yeah.
if you get me going, you know, so
Definitely the same way. Because it's like sometimes, you got to just listen and keep quiet. And other times it's like, okay, let me drop some knowledge,
right,
drop my experience. Because I get that a lot. They like, you don't be saying nothing, but when you speak, you
right,
got a lot to
right,
say. Because I
because you
keep everything.
right, and I feel like if you're not around people that like actually want to engage in conversation or whatever, you won't have nothing to talk about. You won't
Right.
have too much to say, even though you could be the smartest person or the most intelligent person or have the most intelligent thoughts and all that. And it's just, I mean, you once again, you got to be around the right people.
Yeah.
You got to set the tone for yourself. You got to, and like Pip said too earlier, like you have to be intentional on what you're putting out there, like what you're wanting. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
attract those right people. Be you.
Yeah.
I do have a
To
little
you.
right. I do want to start another YouTube page or channel, and it's in the works, but and I thought I had put my logo up there, but it's going to be called Love, Motivate, and Reciprocate, and really that's my initials. But that um I feel like it's needed though. We should love unconditionally, okay? We shouldn't put conditions on how we see people or how we treat people or how we like, okay, well, if you don't do this, then screw it. Or if you don't do this way, then that's not in my opinion, I don't feel like that's what or that's how you should go about loving somebody or having love for somebody and authentically showing that in regardless on who the other person is or what other thing is, you shouldn't change you and how you do things and how you see things. It shouldn't other people shouldn't change your way on how you treat other people
Mm-hmm.
at all. It shouldn't. And motivating, I feel like we don't get that enough. I feel like this whole world, I feel like everybody feels like we're all in competition with each other. So everybody feels like everybody's trying to step on everybody's toes instead of landing it could be a motivational like word or something. It could be like anything to where you don't know what somebody is going through. You don't know how people is on a daily or what their life is like or how they're managing to live and go on or do the things that they do, mothers, father, like you don't know a person's situation. So I feel like sometimes like a good word can take somebody a long way and it could mean everything to somebody. You don't know that. So be nice and just motivate other people. Don't put other people down. Don't try to tell people what they can't do because they're projecting their can'ts on you. No, you can't do it. Watch me. But and then reciprocate, I feel like just give people, you know what I mean, what you want. Like uh and especially when people do good and show you good and be good to you, reciprocate that back. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with treating people nice and being nice and helping. um it's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. I don't feel like that, so I feel strongly about that. And every time I talk, you guys will probably get all of that love, motivate, reciprocation type stuff for me, because I'm that way. I'm never gonna step on nobody's toes. I'm never gonna hate on nobody because of what they're doing or what they're not doing. They're just probably not in the spot where they need to be at. And I was there also. Hey, I'm probably still not where I need to be, not how I need to be, but I could say I'm working on it though. I could say I'm genuinely trying on a day-to-day basis. So I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with that. So yes, here coming up within the next maybe week or so, I will start my YouTube channel or whatever it is, whatever I feel like it's gonna be. But it will be like the love, motivate, reciprocate theme. So, and tell I want you guys to tell people where they can follow y'all, or where they can find information for y'all, anything y'all got going on, businesses, whatever it is. So
So I have a few. I
go ahead, girl.
do letting go gatherings. So you can tune into those, one via my personal number, but also we are on Instagram and Instagram. But I also have another podcast where it's called Let's Talk About It. It's where you get real and raw content. We are on all platforms. We are on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and we even have an email. So head on over, even an email, because
Right?
I want it to very much so be interactive. I want you to be able to email in topics that you would like to talk about, feedback on episodes that have been posted, things you want to hear, things you don't like, that was not it, things that I should have expanded on, send in different perspectives. I want it all. So and if you, I want you to inquire about coming on. I would love to have you featured on the podcast. So yes, absolutely,
We'll
yes,
be
yes,
on.
yes, we'll be on an episode very soon, very soon.
Okay,
um
okay.
so yeah, those are a few things that I'm doing. And you can also access all of those things from my personal Facebook page as well.
Next.
Um, well, I guess my personal page is Facebook is my first name. There shouldn't be too many out there with my name, so you can
No.
find me there. Instagram. I post a lot of things that I do throughout the week. With Bible studies, getting into the Word. And if anyone needs help with breastfeeding or know someone who needs help with breastfeeding, you can always reach out to me, because that is what I do.
Mm.
And we can't forget the hookups for the bonnets and the combs and the spray bottles.
Period. Because I think I'm gonna have to place another order soon. So
Yes,
I'm
I
getting
do need
out.
motivation to get back into that. I do have a business that sells bonnets,
Double
like hair
silk.
products, those spray bottles, things like that. That's definitely something I need to get back into.
Yes, ma'am.
So
You
Yeah.
will.
Look, Tanya gonna make sure you do.
But listen, I have been
appreciate
slacking on the reaching out, but I got
Yeah.
you. But yeah, and for me, you could put my name in anywhere. I have
Mm-hmm.
this podcast, the Sisterly Sparks. I am a business owner. I have a salon where I specialize in braiding, natural hair care, all that. Called Twisted by Graffiti. I do have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm on Snapchat, Threads. Yeah, you could either put in graffiti mess, Twisted by Graffiti, or my name.
Pinterest. Did you
And
say Pinterest?
oh, Pinterest as well. That's new. Listen, okay, so I'm learning, okay, but I do have it. It's in works. I just say the other ones for now, but
Find your own
Pinterest is
page.
coming up. But yeah, so I have a bunch going on. I'm just trying to start a lot of stuff. I'm just trying to get a lot of people engaged and doing a lot of stuff. because you never know what you want to do or what you may like doing. We may not have this forever, but this is like a starting point for something, or giving people ideas for something, or what have you. And I feel like because we talk all the time, why not? Somebody may can benefit from what we're talking about. Somebody may need to hear something that we said that can help them do something or figure something out, or make them come up with a decision that they needed to or something. So and I know for me, I have a bad memory, so I can't remember nothing. So when I talk, you're gonna have to catch it when I'm throwing it out there. Cause if not, it's gone.
It runs in the
I don't know what to
family.
tell you, but I don't know what to tell you, but yeah. So any of our platforms, we would appreciate everybody to like, at least, even if you don't like it, so we can get the exposure out there. It's a new
Yeah.
channel, so we're trying to grow it. So share it, please. So the people that you share it to, hope they share it. Comment, and if you want to join, we can have up to like 10 people on here at a time. So feel free, like send us a message or something, an inbox, or leave a comment down below or something like that, and let us know that you want to join in the conversation. We don't mind it. The more the merrier. You know what I mean? The more in-depth discussions we can have. So go ahead, reach out. We'll send a link to join, be on stage with us. But I felt like this was needed today.
Me too. Tom, yeah. So what I was going to say is, as y'all can see, Tanya's very others oriented. She's very um aware of others and wanting to promote others and elevate others as much as possible. But have to stop and give her flowers, because she has many platforms, but this woman has not, she's never spoken something that she hasn't done. So along with her owning the salon, along with her doing multiple podcasts, this girl makes music. You can inquire about keychains. You can inquire about resin products. You can inquire about clothing. You can inquire about getting your nails done. You can inquire about, was it massages? Is that what that table was for?
Eyelashes.
Oh,
Woo!
eyelashes.
One
Okay,
stop
so
shop.
look, so while yes, all the things that she said she does, yes, she put herself in a box, and I just wanted to make sure that I blew that lid off, because this woman is a jack of many trades, okay? And
I try. Listen, I
you
just feel
you
like
do.
you really don't know what you want to do if you don't go out there and try it. And I feel like, because I feel like I'm a procrastinator and I don't really like do nothing. I feel like now, like within the last like several years, just jump out there. Like, but also be vigilant in what you want to do and be truthful with that. Because once you be truthful with that, and if you try and if you put the work in and the effort in, stuff is gonna come to you and it's gonna manifest for you. So yeah, and I also feel like I don't like to be the only one to do stuff, and I don't want to be bragging on myself and boasting just on myself. I want to talk about other people. So yes, I'm going to try to put other people on. I'm going to try to help other people do something, start something, get something done, or have something. Come on, join the fun. Like, I feel like everybody can do anything if they put their mind to it. You just have to put your mind just have to be in the right spot. That's it. And if I can help with that, I'm gonna help with that. You want me to just listen to something, I'll listen to it. You want me to have a say in it. However, I'm not going to never tell you something about anything that I don't know, I haven't experienced, I haven't done, I haven't been through. Anything else outside of that, because I don't never want you to come to me and be like, well, Tanya said, or because I listened to her, this happened. No, mm-mm. No, ma'am. No,
There's a
sir. No ham, no turkey, no nothing. Not at all. So, okay.
catch.
But yeah, I do a lot. But and one of the big reasons is because I want my kids to see that they can too. I want them to know that they can have. I've never in a 100 million thousand whatever how many years thought that I would be a owner of anything. I know what I like to do. I know what I want to do, but having that mentality of, you know what, seeing these big businesses out here, seeing all these people like having things of their own, it never dawned on me like,
I can
maybe
help
I
that.
can too. And it's a lot of people that affected that. Like I've family members and all that. Like I just, and that's, and y'all talking into me too. Like keep saying what I do, how I do things, and you should this and that, and all that plays a factor in why I am and where I am the way that I am. Not saying that I'm where I need to be right now, where I want to be, but it's coming. It's only gonna get better. It's only gonna elevate. It's only gonna add more and more to who I am and what I am. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see what y'all doing. I can't wait to I'm listen, I'm shouting y'all out and everything. Not even just y'all, everybody. Anybody that I know that's doing something or have something going on. My brother does housing. He works on houses and fix houses up. He dang near can build one himself. Like my brother-in-law can
Mhm.
do the same thing. Like, I just have my sister's a great artist. Like my other sister, uh she's like really good at speaking and really good at law and all that type of stuff. Like I just our
Her
family is
knowledge
dope.
is
Like
crazy.
period. Like it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of people that does a lot of stuff. My brother is starting his own hair care line and all that. He's good at barbering and stuff, and you know what I mean. My mom, she's really good at teaching, and I said a long time ago when I got some money enough, I want to open her up her own little school or something, little class. My daddy, he's a dang good chef, a cook. He loves cooking. You know what I mean? I want to get him his own
Mhm.
kitchen. Like there's plenty of people around me that can do a bunch of dope stuff, good stuff. Put that to use. Like put it to use. Do something with it. Like don't let it go. Don't let it go like untouched. Like you're good at something, or you have a talent for something for a reason. Figure what that reason out is. Figure out the why for that, and then move on from there. So yes, thank you. But
You're
yeah, I appreciate
I
that.
love today's episode. You're welcome.
No. And pimp,
Yes, it was great.
anything I can help with, like I already told you, you already got my number.
Right. With the
I
business aspect, I'm just looking for vendors. I have so many ideas. It's just finding a good vendor because the one that I had, I think they got out of business a little bit after COVID.
okay.
So I'm back to the drawing board as far as finding the vendors. I had a few places. I just gotta try them out, like buy the products, try it out, and see how I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But because
Okay.
it's getting about that time. It's
And
been
I
time.
also and I also help with that a little because I mean, of course, what you need is really what I need. So if you can
Right.
get what you need, I'm gonna get what I need. So
Right.
so
Uh-huh.
yeah, I will help with that and start with that. But hey y'all, we've been on here for about a good hour and a half, which I'm cool
Mhm.
with for real.
Yeah,
But I have to
it
get
was
my child
great.
to bed.
Yes. Well, Pim, thank you for coming on and
She
joining
just
us.
waiting. Oh,
Yes, we do appreciate you coming up.
of course.
Hopefully this
Thank
won't
you.
be the last one. You
Most
always
definitely.
welcome. Just send out a little shoot me the link, please. That's all we
Right.
need to hear from you, okay? And we'll go ahead and get it for you. But until next time, y'all,
Until
All
next
it's
right,
been
time.
good.
Sisterly Sparks out.
We
Bye.
out.